We begin in Gainesville. Florida's Jim McElwain is the first coach in the SEC to lose his job in 2017. It wasn't that long ago when he was in the conversation for second best in the conference behind Alabama's Nick Saban. Despite being his offensive coordinator for 4 seasons, winning 2 national championships along the way, he never carried himself like a Saban disciple. While Georgia's Kirby Smart has copycatted Saban and enjoyed stunning success so far, McElwain employed a more loosey-goosey approach that never sat well with Gator Nation. Not only do you have to win at UF, but you have to win with style points, because this program is used to Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks putting up huge numbers. McElwain failed to do so, and he also failed to win over administrators and boosters alike with his odd personality and flippant behavior. In the end, it appears that the job was just too big for him. All right, let's take it to the house with a pick 6. A year ago, Georgia's Nick Chubb and Sony Michel combined for just 20 yards on 12 carries in a loss to Florida. But in Saturday's gashing of the Gators, they had 214 yards and 3 touchdowns on only 19 attempts. In 2016, both of them were returning from injury and rarely looked like themselves. But in 2017, they're fully healthy and firing on all cylinders. They've once again established themselves as the top tailback tandem in the league. When Connor Limpert of Arkansas lined up for the game-winning field goal against Ole Miss, the Rebels tried to freeze him, not once, not twice, but 3 times. He kicked the ball anyway, even though officials kept blowing the play dead. He split the uprights with each attempt. When it was time to deliver for real, he converted yet again. In what was a game of mistakes, Limpert was air-free when it mattered most. Vanderbilt's Ralph Webb wanted one more bite at the apple as a senior, but he might be regretting that decision. The leading rusher in Commodore's history has more than 54 yards on the ground only once in 8 games. And Saturday, he matched a dubious career low with just 6 rushes in a loss to South Carolina. Of the 25 players in the SEC with more than 60 attempts, his yards per carry average of 3.8 is dead last. Missouri's Drew Locke had another big day statistically against UConn, throwing for 377 yards and 5 scores. NFL scouts won't be watching this film though. The Huskies are 130th in the country, out of 130 teams, in pass defense this season, allowing 377.8 yards per game. They've given up 25 touchdown passes, which is also bottom of the barrel nationally. Until Locke can have a similar performance in victory against a conference foe, his numbers are borderline meaningless. While Kellen Mond has flashed some upside at Texas A&M, the fact remains that he's the lowest rated passer in the league. During a dreadful outing against Mississippi State, when he was just 8 of 26 through the air, he got hurt late and opened the door for Week 1 starter Nick Starkel. As if Kevin Sumlin wasn't sitting on a hot enough seat, he might have a quarterback controversy on his hands too. Mond is still number 1. For now. Every week, we hear that Tennessee's Butch Jones is coaching for his job. But even after a 6th straight loss in SEC play, this time to a pretty mediocre Kentucky team, he's still employed on Rocky Top. When Southern Miss comes to Knoxville on Saturday, he'll be on the sideline yet again. Fortunately for Jones, he won't hear a lot of boos at Neyland Stadium. Way too many of those 100,000 plus seats are going to be empty. And finally, getting back to Florida, one of the first names mentioned for the vacancy was Mississippi State's Dan Mullen. He has ties to the program. He was the offensive coordinator there for 4 seasons and won 2 national championships. He also has ties to athletic director Scott Strickland, who left Starkville to take the same job in Gainesville. But if you're Mullen, Why would you leave a low-pressure situation for a high-pressure situation? He already makes close to $5 million, so there's little incentive to chase a payday. The Gators just ran off a pretty good coach in Jim McElwain. With the Bulldogs, if Mullen wins 9 games, he's a god. And if he only wins 6, like last season by the way, oh well, go get him next year, coach. Even in a small pond, the big fish is fat and happy. Thank you for watching, and for all SEC all the time, visit SaturdayDownSouth.com.